The sound of pages turning means it's time for another episode from the Meredith Library podcast studio, bringing you the library's latest news, information, and fun.
Good afternoon, Matthew.
Good afternoon, Anna.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of the Meredith Public Library Check It Out podcast series. Today, we are talking about Meredith Library After Dark, a haunted ghost tour that our very own Matthew is organizing. So you have so much to tell us today. Let's get right into it.
We have to talk about how strange things happen here at the Meredith Library after dark.
What kind of strange things?
You know, kind of those minor things that librarians have noticed over the years. You know you left a pen or a pencil in a certain place on your desk, and you come back and it's on the floor. Or you left it on the right-hand side because you're right-handed, so you know you would never leave a pen or pencil on the left, and instead you come back, it's on the left side of your computer keyboard.
Thinking on it, that has happened to me once or twice.
Yeah, there's some very strange things. Or also, you know, librarians love to stamp books. You know, that thing that's in Meredith Public Library we put on the front and on the spines, right?
I can't get enough stamping.
Yep, same thing. Sometimes the stamp might not be next to the stamp pad where you know it was put.
Anything else?
Yes. How about faucets? This has actually happened to me here at the library. You know how we will check the bathrooms at the end of the day, of course, and the faucets could be turned off as they should be, and then you hear a noise, you go in there, and the faucet is running. No one else is in the building because we've already locked the doors. Those faucets are not automated ones that can come on or shut off. So we're talking about a faucet that has to physically be turned one way or another.
I was here, I think, when that happened to you one time. It's very strange and possibly paranormal.
So we cannot explain that. And also, sometimes, same thing, kind of in the morning, you know all lights have been turned off, and then how can lights be turned on when no one has been here?
And these all seem like indications of spirits. And how old is the Meredith Public Library? How old is this building?
The building dates to 1901.
So it's over 100 years old.
Yes, so there are plenty of opportunities for librarians and Meredith residents to have come and gone and decided they didn't want to leave after all. We decided we needed to do a little research. Clearly, something is going on. Some research has uncovered that there are indeed possible ghosts haunting the Meredith Library. We will be exploring that and their stories because they probably just want attention. I mean, why else do these things to make your presence known?
Well, we will uncover the truth.
Exactly. We have their stories and we will share them with people who come to the Haunted Ghost Tour on Wednesday, October 30th.
That is so exciting. Has this ever been done before?
Not in this manner. Many years ago, when Erin was first here, so about 16 years ago, she did have a medium and a ghost hunter type people come in and go through the library and kind of, in a similar way, talk about the presence of the spirits that they felt, and the people said that they could see, you know, so-and-so. And of course, when Erin showed the picture of the founder of the library, the medium or the psychic said that's who she was seeing.
Of course.
You know how that works.
Yes. You know, you give a medium anything and they're like, that's exactly right.
Perhaps she uncovered some of these same stories, or maybe that's a better word. Maybe she encountered some of these same spirits that we will be encountering on Wednesday, October 30th.
That sounds so fun. And now that we have the general theme and vibe, we need to get into the nitty gritty, right? We got to go over logistics.
Yes.
So can you please help us understand the what, when, why, where of this event?
Yes, people want to know how to participate, and it is very simple. The event will be taking place on Wednesday, October 30th, and literally after dark, because at this time of year or that time of year, it will already be dark by the evening, so the library will actually be closing to the public that evening very early at 5 p.m. So the library is closed for general things like coming in and renewing your books or, taking out material, whatever. It will only be available to people who sign up for the ghost tours.
And how do I sign up for a ghost tour?
Right. So we have it on the website with the exact time. So there are 6 different slots. We have it from 6 to 6:30, 6:30 to 7, 7 to 7:30, etc. Obviously, between 6 and 9. So there are 6 different slots that people can sign up for, and each one contains 7 spots. So we expect this to be popular, so people will be combined with other groups. If you only have 2 people, then you would expect that, there could be up to 5 other people with you from another family or another group or whatever. So people just go to the website and register for this the same way they would register for any other class that they've been doing, such as Erin's Crafternoon things on Fridays or any other thing we've required registration for.
Well, that sounds really easy. And you said that they're in 30-minute increments. So is that about how long the tour is?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit less than that because we need to, one group will leave and then the next group has to be ready to start. So, at this point, we'll probably say it might be 20 to 25 minutes or so. And there's no cost for the event.
Well, that's great. How early should I get here if my tour is at 8?
I would definitely want to be here a few minutes early just to make sure that the group is organized. So the library will be closed, as I said, and the doors will actually be locked. The only entrance that will be available for use for this will be the back entrance or from the parking lot. Someone will be at the door, perhaps in a costume, one might think.
Ooh.
That person will be the one who will be making sure that you're here for that purpose.
Now, this is an important question that you've been getting, and I think we should cover, especially to families that are going to want to possibly bring their children. Mm-hmm. How scary is the tour?
Well, you actually asked 2 questions in one. I like that. So your 2 questions are how scary is it and what is the age? Let's just start with the age. So we say that, and on the website it states this, that there is no age restriction. It really is up to parents to know their own kids for what they think the kids would enjoy and understand or be scared by. When I was a kid, of course, I was watching horror movies like Friday the 13th. So going to the ghost tour would not faze me at all. But someone else, even people our age now, are afraid of horror movies and would not do well. You really have to know your own kids. The normal library policy also applies for age in that children 10 or over are allowed to come to the library by themselves, but always with the caveat that they are not being supervised by library staff. They are, being treated the same as an adult who comes to the library who is responsible for himself or herself.
Do you think a good metric would be like, if your kid is afraid of mall Santa, then they probably shouldn't come?
I think that's a good metric. That's one to start with, yes. And also, so then the question is, how scary is it? Well, it is a ghost tour, right? Mm-hmm. And they are ghost stories. And they are horror stories, right? They are about dead people. That's why they're ghosts. So it is meant to be scary. And also, at any haunted house attraction, you have loud noises, you have flashing lights, and you have unexpected movements. So those will be present, those 3 things, as well as we will say perhaps scary masks, scary props, and scary makeup.
Now that we have covered all the logistics and the who, what, where, why, would you like to give us a little background on how you came up with this idea and how you got a handle of so many cool Halloween props?
Yes. Well, as we may have mentioned on the podcast, or maybe people have had other conversations with me about this one way or another, I actually 20 years ago worked at Spooky World, which was built as America's horror theme park. And there is a Spooky World now also in New Hampshire. This is not the same one. The one that I worked at was in Massachusetts at the Patriots Stadium in Foxborough. I thought it'd be really fun to do something like that here at the library. So that was the genesis of the idea from that point. And then as you were asking about getting a hold of this stuff, so I contacted Duke's Spook House, which is a haunted house attraction here in Meredith on Route 3, which, by the way, is now open for the season. They're open throughout the month of October on Friday and Saturday nights. So check out their website at dukesspookhouse.com. I contacted the owner of Duke's and asked her if she would be interested in partnering with us or working with us to develop this concept. So that is where some of these amazing props that will be part of the show will be coming from.
Well, that's really cool that you involved the community and you have this cool partnership because, yeah, we've been promoting their business here as a trade and it's been really cool. That was a lot of information. It sounds like it's going to be a very, very busy month here at the Meredith Public Library for Halloween. We have multiple Halloween enthusiasts on staff, including me. I will plug very lightly the day before. I have a FX makeup program for teens, but also adults can come from 3:30 to 5.
So that's on October 29th, which is a Tuesday. Then our event that we've been talking about, the Meredith Library After Dark Haunted Ghost Tour, is Wednesday, October 30th. And then Thursday is Halloween. People can trick-or-treat at the library all day long.
We had a very busy trick-or-treat population last year. It was really fun. A lot of kids came.
Yeah, so people may remember last year we had a group costume, right? So everybody on the staff or most of the staff participated in wearing a costume that was one of the characters from the Scooby-Doo gang.
Yeah, and you were Fred and I was Daphne, and we weren't even friends then.
I know, we barely knew each other. I had just started.
I know, they made us take pictures together, and I was like, who's this guy?
And now you're like, darn, I want more pictures with him.
So as a final wrap up for the episode, we, have to have our question of the day. This is obviously a Halloween themed podcast episode. So I figured I'd ask a Halloween question, which is, what kind of monster do you think you are and why?
Well, definitely a ghost. And not just because we've been talking about it for the past however many minutes, but because I love the idea of being able to haunt people in that other sense of the word, like aggravate them. And just never give up and be able to go wherever I wanted and get them whenever I feel like it. Just
true revenge fantasies till the end of time. Matthew, you might get lucky. You might end up being a ghost. Don't let go of that dream.
Perhaps here at the Meredith Library, I will never leave.
Eventually, someone else will be doing the ghost tour in like 50 years and they'll be like, and in this room is the podcaster that never left. His name was Matthew. For me, I think I'd be a siren. I love the idea of luring men to their death. And being like really pretty, but then you get up really close and I just like unhinge my jaw and it's just like layers and layers of sharp teeth. That's really fun for me.
I love it. So a siren, a ghost, we've got it all here at the Meredith Library on our podcast.
All right. Well, it was great talking to you today, Matthew.
And it was great talking to you as always.
See everyone next time.
Sounds like we're at the end of another chapter. Podcast music titled Daytime TV Theme by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0. Podcast copyright 2024. Meredith Library Podcast Studio.